Brick by brick, pillar by pillar, this isolation centre on the grounds of the mainland hospital in Yaba is being put together. It's part of a joint effort among the private sector coalition against COVID-19, members of which include banking managing directors and Africa's richest man, all led by the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, who insists the entire process will be transparent.
These numbers will be audited. These numbers, as we speak, and have told the Kakovit communication to put the names of the donors on our website and let the whole Nigerian know. Even if you donated ₦1, your name will be on the list. On the reverse side, on the other side, whatever expenditure is incurred, even in buying needles, in buying masks, it will be there on the website. We'll make it open for everybody to see. We've raised so far 25 billion naira. This is still very far, like I said, from where we want to be. We would love to be able to have close to about 40 to 50 billion because, for instance, the food component of what we are doing alone is over 20 billion naira.
And that's where the Aliko Dangote Foundation come in. In addition to providing medical health intervention resources, feeding those in need is also a major part of the action plan.
We're buying 23 billion naira for now worth of food items to be distributed, in conjunction with the state governments. And what we've done is to now say, okay, fine, how many people do you have in Nigeria, which is about 200 million people? And we're taking 5% of the 200, which is 10 million people. And the average household is 6 into 1. So we're now going to distribute food items to 1.67 million households. We should start giving food out within the next 10 days. It's a massive logistic issues. And what we have done actually, not to distort prices in the market, we bought directly from the manufacturers. So that will help not to raise up prices of food, items.
As has been the case with government relief efforts, there have been fears resources may not trickle down to the people who need them the most. But Kakovid say they've put together an operation plan to ensure those people won't be left behind.
For food, there is a proper formal distribution process. Dangote Foundation has done this for over 25 years. We are leveraging off their skills. We will go through the state governments, through the local governments, to the wards. So we're not just giving it to people, we're taking it to the wards. We're having representatives of Kakovid coming from the other banks as well, coming from the other partners to be present. So technically, you have 774 local governments in this country. For each local government chairman, you will have 2 or 3 representatives of Kakovid. Go with them to make sure that this thing gets to the wards. All right? It will be properly branded that this is from the private sector. It is not available for resale. And anybody who is doing it should be reported. That way we can ensure that as much as is humanly possible, we get the goods to the bottom of the pyramid.
The plan is to hand control of the site over to the federal government, who will then do the same at the state level. Represented by its health commissioner, Professor Akin Abayomi, says efforts are widely welcomed by the Lagos state government.
The more gentle the curve and the slope, the more time it gives us to do things like this, to accommodate as many people as possible, to manage them in a facility by professionals, and thereby we are able to prevent people from going from mild to moderate to severe.
The work has already started. There have been hurdles in constructing this multi-million naira structure.
This one has been particularly challenging. As you can see, it's not just a tent that we're building, right? We have a real foundation. You can see it's elevated on a cement surface. This is a reinforced tent that we're building. This tent will cost us about 500 million naira, which includes the beds, the equipment, the tent itself, building, etc. So this is what we're doing. But in terms of how much harder it is than other projects, I would say it's a little bit slower now to do this now because it's harder for people to move, it's harder to get supplies, everything is just more difficult because of the lockdown.
Well, we're standing outside the partial skeleton of the isolation centre built by the Coalition Against COVID-19. They say within a week they're expecting considerable progress to be made to the structure. And in the meantime, they also say that plans are in place to address the food concerns to as many Nigerians across the country as possible. In these actions, they're saying that their fists are clenched in the fight against the spread of COVID-19 in Nigeria. Adefemi Akinsanya, Arise News, Lagos.